Hello, my name's Gary Schotten, and today we're going to talk about the subject of survival mode. You know, I have friends all around the world, and if I was to describe many of their situations, they're in survival mode. What do I mean? Well, they're just one incident away from bankruptcy. They almost fight most of their time just to make it to Friday, to payday, if they're receiving a paycheck. Or if they're the owner, they're on Friday, they're just barely able to make payroll, and they're putting off some of their suppliers, some of their vendors. They owe people, and those people know that this company is in survival mode, and this situation creates even more expenses. And it's a difficult situation because how do you get out of survival mode? How do you get ahead? How do you get on top of this? That's what I hope to talk about a bit together. You see, in survival mode, the even smallest of little extra or unexpected expenses, the car breaks down, the wash machine quits, something happens, or in a business, you have a big machine goes down and you have to put a lot of money in unexpectedly. There's all kinds of things that can and probably will happen while you're in this battle for your business. Now, here's my story on this subject. I will tell you that I had a long series of survival mode. As many of you may know, I started my business career by owning a moving and storage company. We moved furniture from point A to point B, and we would get paid just almost a minimal amount of income, and we had quite a bit of expenses. And so all the time, I felt like this is pressure that's unbearable. This is too much pressure. I didn't buy in for this. I don't want to live my business life day in and day out with pressures like I'm facing. Yeah, there's a few times I got a little plateau of help or got ahead just a little bit, and then I would buy something or expand in some direction, or I would try to do something different, or something unexpected happen. Wow. I had some 50 to 75 employees. This is several years ago, 20 years ago or so, and we paid every other Friday. And I was committed to make payroll and make sure everybody got paid, so the pressure was on me. And I can't tell you how many times in that 17 years, the last 10 were in this situation where I had sometimes $1,000 in my checking account. And on Friday, I knew I'd have a $50,000 payroll, including my drivers and everybody related to the company, and I only had $1,000 on Monday. I had to come up with collecting money, make sure people had paid me, make sure people were on board, make sure we did everything right just to make payroll week after week after week, or month after month. And I call it like playing a guitar. If you ever played guitar just a little bit, you'll know that just the ends of your fingers, when you start pushing down on those wires, the guitar strings is what they're called, it causes your fingers to get calloused. And until they're calloused and hard, and you've played a lot, then they're really hurts. You can only play for a little while, because then you got to stop and let your fingers kind of heal a little bit, because it really hurts. Well, that's what was happening to me. It wasn't callousing me in a bad way. It was giving me month after month and year after year experience on how to run and operate a business with a very tight budget. So you can't tell me I don't understand the subject of survival mode. In foreign countries, again, many people are just almost perpetually, and not only each business, but almost every business is on perpetual survival. I'd hate to be in some countries like Africa where there's individuals that are literally in the morning waking up to the reality that there's not enough food for their family, and on that day, in hours, they must do something to come out legally and professionally, or with the sweat of their hands or labor. They've got to do something to come up with the food to eat that day. And the next day is the same thing. I honestly can't imagine that. Well, I don't want to describe the problem too bleak, but that is pretty well the problem with a lot of situations. What would we do about that? Well, at one point when I was in these situations, I felt, well, if I could just get bigger, I have a certain overhead, and if I got more drivers and more trucks, and you know, it sounds right, and in theory that is right if you can hold your overhead down, but I wasn't a good enough business person, and for me to get bigger was not better. I had to come to the reality that I had to trim, I had to cut back, I had to reduce my business enterprise, if you want to say, to a smaller size and get it on control, get it in budget, get it on in check, if you want to say it that way. I had the latitude, instead of getting bigger, to cutting back. I had to show that I had discipline. You see, I wasn't in a position as owner to go and take extra money, do things with the money that I shouldn't have. I've known people that felt that they're above that, and they would even give money away that wasn't even theirs because they couldn't pay their bills, and they would give away money or do free services when they're barely making it along themselves. Now, there's a certain element of generosity that you should always maintain, I believe, but you've got to be on guard with that. You can't be ruled by your feelings. Boy, when I had this pressure, oh man, I mean, you talk about the old saying, kick the cat. I could come unglued at times. So I had to try to reel that in. I wasn't perfect. I had to be sure that that I was not mad at somebody because of some very small situation that they faced or maybe presented. Maybe they wasted $10 and I need $30,000, and so I would jump on that person because they wasted extra roll of paper or something, or wasting something. You said, and I had to try to, and it wasn't always perfect, that roll in my feelings and resist letting my feelings rule. Maybe the most important thing is when our things are rolling along, there are a few things that you can, not in your core values or your core business, but you can plant just a little seed, a little something, a very small investment, or something that you can kind of water and fertilize and nurture as a multiple revenue stream. You see, there's times that my cash flow was horrible, and something was unbelievably tough for me, and I realized that several years ago that I had bought a piece of land. Hope this helps. We want to inspire better business. This may not be the happiest message, but it's one that could save your life, could save your future, could save your business. Thank you.